you're gonna want. Alright, guys. Sorry for my chair farting, and I'm recording this late because it's a bit late. It's almost 1 in the morning, but blah blah blah. Sorry for my dog barking, but and usually I kind of steer away from erotic or just inappropriate con stuff, but blah blah blah. Basically, today, what have I learned? A girl's best friend really can be a guy's best friend too. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say a girl's best friend, then you'll learn one day. And don't go looking it up. Just you'll learn over time. If you don't know, you're probably not ready to know, and that's a whole different world of stuff that'll just make your life more miserable and complicated. So don't rush into that. But if you do, and you're in a relationship right now, and maybe you're feeling like slightly curious, do it. Do it 100%. It's right. I've tried it. I'm 18, and you get good results. It's fun. I mean, it works great for both of you, because a lot of my friends that I know, we live to serve. It's not as much about us as it is about them. I think. Well, if you're not like that, what are you doing? Women are queens. Amen. Blah blah blah. Ooh. Yeah, but that's how a lot of us are, and it's still like a boy is gonna be easier to than a girl is easier to so it's like but oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm just saying, if you're looking and you're thinking blah 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 and you're just maybe you should try it out, then do it. Do it, because it's not the most expensive. I mean, of course you're gonna want to do your research, talk to friends who you may know who have already dabbled in the sport before, and you don't want to get it like a cheap one. You want to get, if you're gonna spend money, make sure you're spending good money on this stuff, because if you get a bad one, then it's not gonna be as nice. And think, do you want to make her happy, or do you not want to make her happy? Because more money in this directly translates to making her happier. And maybe she already has her best friend found. But, I mean, don't be against trying her best friend. I've always been for it. It just didn't feel right until now, We didn't really... It just didn't feel right. And if it's not going to feel right, then don't do it. Because anything in this area that I'm hinting towards and not explicitly stating is something that needs to be taken very slowly and to the comfort of each individual. Otherwise, it's not going to blossom into a wonderful relationship. But, and if you force that rose to blossom too soon, that rose toy to blossom too soon, it's not going to be right. But if you think, do it. Do it totally, because and right, you might be like, how did you finally do this? I was never really against this whole idea ever, but I was talking to my lady, yippee, and she just mentioned it, and I was like, okay. And I mean, that exact same day I was actually just looking at that kind of stuff, because I was like, I think this would be fun to try out, and just getting a little initial curiosity, putting my feet in the water, like I take my big toe, my engorged big toe, and I tap once, tap twice, feel the water. It's not too cold, it's something a bit uncomfortable, but if I sink slowly into it, I can be fine. So I'm just, kind of la 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 going in, and then the same day she goes, hey, would you be down to try blank? And I'd be like, and she was kind of just like quickly mentioning it, and I said yeah, and then that was kind of like the end of that conversation. So then afterwards, I'm like, well, I don't want to go blindly into this. I'm a boy, and a girl's best friend is a girl's best friend, not a guy's best friend. So how do you know? Well, the guy's best friend. We not best friends yet. I don't really know much about this girl's best friend thing. So I'm like, okay, who would know a lot about a girl's best friend? A girl. Duh. So weirdly enough, I think a lot of people don't have this comfortable relationship. But I asked my sister, I'm just like, okay, well, you're like 20 million years old. Do you know about this? And she says, yes, you're going to want to get quality ones, blah, blah, blah. Here's a good one. And I'm like, okay, thank you. So then I go along, buy that one, and I'm like, okay, this should be solid. And the delivery, right? It was just her birthday. So, she's having a large birthday party with a lot of friends, and we're comfortable enough to where I can do little silly jokes. Some of you may not have a girlfriend who would be happy if you had her unbox a certain thing in front of all of her friends, and it was from you. Like, some people might not have that relationship. I do have that relationship where we can do funny stuff like that, and it won't leave any of us upset. I mean, she might be on her way to break up with me. But that would suck. I don't think she will. But it was funny. And then everybody was checking it out. They were like, whoa. It wasn't really a nervous thing. And then, so we got it. And then we're like, okay. But yay. And la la la. So, this is funny to talk about. Cause it's just weird, It's just me going over the day, and I'm kind of blushing talking about it, but it's still so funny, just because she literally opened it in front of like all of her friends, and I originally thought it was just gonna be like a close group of friends, everybody that I know. So I was like, okay, this is a perfectly fine group of people to open it around. Like I know everybody there is gonna be like, yeah, this is funny, and I don't want to do that in front of people who would not think it is funny, because ouch. It's a know your audience kind of thing, but blah, 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 blah. Enough about the delivery of the present. It was just like, birthday, here you go. Of course, there was other stuff. It wasn't just that. I think that would be an asshole thing to do, just that. And there's still more that's coming, just like a funny little... Actually, I shouldn't talk about that, because that was quite frankly disgusting. But there's just more coming stuff, but it's not relating to the roast. The girl best friend. So yeah, that all in all, yeah. So moral of the story, epic. Girl best friend can be guy best friend. That's all you need to know. And I think your girl will be happy if you are acquaintanced and very good friends with her best friend. And I think there really isn't anything bad that happens if you do that at your own comfortable pace, because, you need to be comfortable. But enough about this stuff. Let's hear about me being epic in volleyball at the beach. Like I said, it was birthday, so birthday party. Where birthday party? Beach. And they brought volleyball net. So we were just playing, blah, 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 having fun. And then, strangers come along, And low-key, I prefer playing against my friends. I have much more fun with just my friends. So we just, for some reason, let the strangers play with us. And they weren't unpleasant or anything. They're kind of boring and unsocial, I think they definitely had their friend group settled out. So we were playing, but low-key, we were kind of destroying them. And one of them obviously played volleyball. Like, you can tell when people have played volleyball is just by their serves and sets. The sound of a set, if you play volleyball, you're going to get a quiet set that kind of blah, blah, But if you don't play volleyball, you're going to hear that loud slap set, That's really all you need to listen to, and then you're like, okay, this person knows what they're doing. But yeah, even with, we still #win all the time. We're so epic, blah, blah, blah. Volleyball is so much fun. I just like playing sports with friends. I don't like playing sports on a team or something like that. I always hated team commitments on sports. They piss me off. I don't know why. But that's why, now I just do climbing, because that's like solo, and maybe you have a friend, but I barely even go climbing right now, because I don't want to go alone. I say as I was just being like, oh, I hate teams. But it's just, I don't know, I feel like I'm not that good to go solo, and I don't want to be like looking kind of stupid at the rocks and just being like, yes, And it's just, you can do it with friends. So why not? Just do it. But yeah, moral of the story, girl best friend can be guy best friend. And that's a great thing. Y como siempre, adios, chao, chao.